you ever wondered about election security? Great, you're in the right place. Election officials in every state and jurisdiction implement security measures to protect all phases of the election process. Much of this crucial work happens behind the scenes, but today we're giving you an inside look. The process begins with voter registration. This important security measure ensures only eligible individuals who meet state requirements can vote. And it also helps track who has cast a ballot in an election. If a voter arrives on election day and believes they are eligible to vote, but their name isn't on the registration list or they don't have a required form of ID, they can still cast a provisional ballot. Election officials verify eligibility before deciding if a provisional ballot will be counted. Once you're registered, election offices make sure your personal information is secure. They safeguard data and ensure maximum protection with advanced security measures such as access control, intrusion detection systems, encryption, and firewalls. Only authorized personnel have access to the voter registration database. All database traffic is monitored, and logs detail each time the database is accessed or changed. Routine backups ensure all data can be restored if any unexpected modifications are made. Though data are public record, personal information is only released in accordance with a state's legal guidelines. Now to the heart of the election process. Voting. U.S. elections are conducted independently across thousands of local jurisdictions, each following unique laws and regulations. This means there is no single point of access. Transparency is an essential part of the election process. Almost all processes and procedures require that 2 or more trained personnel be involved, often in bipartisan teams. And these professionals have taken an oath to uphold state election laws and protect the security of the election. In addition, representatives of political parties, candidates, and sometimes even members of the public can observe and monitor the election process. If something does happen on or near Election Day, most jurisdictions have backup plans to ensure voters can still cast their ballots. These contingency plans cover everything from voter registration list backups to the movement of poll locations due to natural disaster or power failure. And when it comes to voting equipment, extensive measures are taken to ensure its protection. When not in use, the equipment is securely stored in facilities accessible only to trained election personnel with verified credentials. Before voting begins, each piece of voting equipment is put through rigorous pre-election testing to make sure ballots will be counted correctly. The public is often invited to observe these tests. Pre-election testing upholds the highest accuracy standards, ensuring voting systems function correctly. Election officials secure voting systems at every stage of the process. Ballots and equipment are protected with tamper-evident seals while in storage, in transit, during voting, and throughout the post-election certification. Election officials also maintain a strict chain of custody, with every handoff documented to ensure integrity. Trained election workers closely monitor the process and are prepared to address any suspicious behavior. What about mail-in voters? State rules and procedures dictate how these ballots must be handled. Steps are in place to ensure these ballots are as private as those cast inside a polling place. Each mailed envelope requires a signature and identifying information corresponding to the voter's registration form. This verification requirement lets election officials know that the ballot was filled out by the correct voter. For ballots deposited in drop boxes, voters can rest assured that these boxes are locked and monitored. These ballots follow security and chain of custody procedures like other ballots, guaranteeing security every step of the way. Next, let's count those results. Today, most paper ballots are counted electronically, either by the machines where votes are cast or by devices that scan paper ballots. Almost all jurisdictions in the United States maintain paper records of all ballots cast, which can be used to verify the accuracy of electronic vote totals. Most jurisdictions prohibit these machines from connecting to the internet. These machines are not connected to each other and are operated in accordance with state and local guidelines. When polls close on election night, Election personnel collect vote counts from each machine and report them to election headquarters. The votes are tabulated at election headquarters before they're reported to the public. Ballots and equipment are then securely transported back to election headquarters. Although the media may announce who won a race soon after an election, the results are unofficial until all votes are counted and certified by officials. That happens once the office verifies the ballots from each precinct. Early voting, absentee or mail voting, uniformed and overseas citizen ballots, and provisional ballots. These ballots are stored in a secure location as required by law. Many jurisdictions will conduct post-election audits to verify the results. Finally, after all records are confirmed, the results become official. Protecting our elections takes a lot of work, but taking steps to secure elections at every phase ensures that the voice of the American people is heard. Your state and local election office is the most reliable source for more information about how elections are secured, how to vote, and where to vote in your area. You can find your state and local election office at eac.gov/vote.